The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the April 24th wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Opening Bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today, folks. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is a tool that we call happiness is a byproduct. You know, the Constitution of the United States says that every person is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And there's an old adage that states we are born to be happy. For some people, the primary goal of life seems to be that attainment of happiness. There must be an innate knowing that our purpose in life is to be happy because we seek happiness with all of our hearts. Sadly, though, most seek happiness outside of themselves, much like the search for the Holy Grail. If you observe others, you'll typically find that the happiest people seem to be those who are working to give happiness to others. Happiness, folks, it's not found by seeking it. It is a byproduct of trying to help others. So question you should start off with each day. What did you do yesterday to help others? What is it that you're going to do today to help others? What is it that you actually like to do? What brings you the greatest joy, the greatest fulfillment, the greatest happiness in life? You should write those things down. If you can't peel them off, it should be 1, 2, 3. These are the things that make me happy. Are these the things? Then here's the question. Are those the things that you're actually going to be doing today? Are those the things that are going to be taking up your time? If so, well, I can pretty much guarantee you one thing. If you're doing those things, you will be a happy person. And if you're not, I say do those things. If you need more happiness in your life, then just go push that happy button. It's those items you just wrote down on that piece of paper that will make you happy. Remember, you become more by doing more. Happiness boils down to becoming the person you want to become. It's not about what you have. It's about who you are. Let's go take a look at these markets. Let's go see who they are. Right now, we've got the Dow futures trading up 20 points. Looks like maybe they'll open up about 10. Dow futures trading at 14,664. ES Mini up really flat. It's trading at 1574. NASDAQ futures off a half a point right now. Russell 2000 down a point and a half. King dollar pretty much flat. Currency market relatively stable. If we take a look at the yen, pound, Canadian dollar, euro out there, a little bit of movement in the Aussie dollar. Gold up $19 right now, trading out at $14.28. Silver up 28 cents. That's trading out at $23.10. Light sweet crude up 49 cents, out at 89.67. Copper up a nickel. Copper is a leader in the clubhouse. We were taking a look at copper yesterday. We'll go back and take a look at that copper chart here. We know that we were up against a hammer candle yesterday. It got tested. We'll go see what kind of candle is forming right now. Platinum futures, platinum is up about $11 right now. Our call number is 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. Give me a call. We can take a look at your stock or anything else that you would like. If we take a quick peek around the globe, see what's going on out here right now over in Germany, the DAX is up 44 points, about 0.6%. The FTSE up 12. That is basically flat. It's up 0.2%. Over in Asia last night, we handed the ball off to Asia nicely. 313 points is what you saw as a rise in the Nikkei. That was up a little over about 2 3/10%. The Hang Seng up 1 7/10%, up 376 points, and the Shanghai up 1.5%, up 35.37. So let's start off our day here by taking a look at the ES Mini. Let's go take a look at the 30-minute chart out here. As we take a look at the 30-minute chart, what we will notice is we will see a pattern that completed. In fact, yesterday, we were taking a look first at the A to B equals CD patterns that were likely to unfold. Our A point was all the way down here at 3 p.m. That came in on April the 18th. That price point is 1530.75. That was our A point. Our B point that we used, this little candle out here at 11:30 in the evening on April the 21st. That high was 1555. Makes a almost a 0.618 retracement, really more like a 50% retracement as it got back into the time frame of 11 a.m. on April 22nd out of that 1542.75. The 1-to-1, A to B equals CD. That takes you to 1569. The 1-to-1 0.272 takes you to 1577. What did the ES Mini actually get up to? Well, in overnight trading at about 4:30 this morning, got up to 1579. Not too bad, 1577 versus 1579. The market, of course, as we saw here, was clearly in the overbought condition, but that little 2-3 minute flash crash that was out there, that started to work that off. That came in at that 1:30 session out there. Worked it off slightly, and so we are starting to see a pullback. We've got a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. That's what you're looking at if you are watching us on Tiger TV. If you're just listening on the radio or your mobile device at tfnn.mobi, remember this show will stream live to your smartphone devices. If you go to the homepage of tfnn.com, over on the right-hand side, you'll see a button with 3 smartphones. Click on that. And in fact, you can see this show live. We can also this show also is archived on Channel 9, so you can catch the archive of that. But right at around the 1577 range, that was also the 0.786 retracement coming off of the swing point high back at around 12 noon on April the 11th out there in the 1592 price point. Gartley sell. If this pattern actually unfolds, the minimum expectation should be the following. You should expect, number one, it to at least pull back to 1560. That would be your dead cat bounce. More likely, 1549 is what would be in the offing. But 1560, that would just simply be nothing more than your dead cat bounce. As we take a look at the ES Mini, neither overbought nor oversold, so it has the ability to go ahead and at least pull back to either of those 2 levels out there. Lot of earnings out here in the after the market yesterday and before the market this morning. So why don't we just start taking a look at those? We can always come back to the futures here, but really I'll do this. Well, we take a look at all of the 30-minute futures contracts. Each of them have set up sell patterns. Each of them. And all that means is you're looking for some type of retracement. You've got a 0.618 Gartley sell pattern that took place inside the Russell 2000. What can you expect out of that? You can expect out of the Russell 2000, if that goes ahead and pulls back, at least a move to 917, more likely 908.60 out there. We go take a look at the NASDAQ futures. The NASDAQ futures here, as we take a look at the possible pullback here, we'll look at coming from the swing point low back at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on April 18th, all the way up to the high that was put in yesterday evening at 5:30. Dead cat bounce, 0.382 retracement, 27.97, 27.69. More likely the next stop on the way down here inside the NASDAQ futures. And then if we take a look at the Dow, it formed just slightly under a point. Before it created between a 0.618 and 0.786 Gartley sell pattern out there as it was making a high in the range of 14,693. That taking place at 4:30 this morning. What's the normal pullback you'd see here? Again, nothing more than at least that dead cat bounce, taking it to 14,585, more likely 14,517. So we've got sell patterns out there. Markets need to work off that overbought condition. Again, we're looking at intraday charts. We're looking at 30-minute charts out there. Good day in the markets yesterday. Volume, if we take a look at volume, if we quickly go over and take a look at the ETF structures out here, if we look at the IWM as an example, IWM had the last downdraft here was on April the 15th, 100 million shares to the downside. To the upside yesterday, 55 billion shares, 50% lighter volume on the way up. No. I don't think so. If we take a look at the S&P, the SPYs, down with 216 million yesterday, up with 166. Not too bad, but still not enough volume on the way up. If you take a look at the Qs out here, the Qs down really here with 48 million and then 56 million yesterday, up with 53 million. So that's kind of maybe a little flip of the coin out there inside the Qs. And the diamonds down with a volume of 14 million on April 15th, and yesterday up with 10 million shares out there. So that's the volume scenario in comparing to down versus up. Now let's go take a look at some of the earnings releases. I talk about getting the kibosh out here. Those folks who bought Apple in the aftermarket yesterday, right now, if they bought at the top, they're down about $33 out here. Apple trading at $393.34. So let's go take a look at, let's pull up the Apple chart. I know it's got to be right out here. There we go. Take a look at the Apple chart. And Apple closed yesterday at 406. Last trade here fired off at 393. Where's 393 going to take you into? Well, it's already inside the swing point from April 19th. You can expect Apple to go out and test the 385.10 level. If it breaks that, where Apple will head to, and Apple does want to trade lower. We know that what Apple did was it did the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. We take a look at that 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. That price point projection was $395.47. So it did that. We've had a little bit of a bounce to work off the oversold condition. But what Apple actually wants to travel down to at least the next level is 341.64. That would be the 1 to 1.272. Doesn't mean it'll stop there. 273 is in the offing as well. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks, and let's continue looking at some of these stocks here, popping and dropping. So Apple, yesterday, on Monday, actually formed a little bit of a Morningstar reversal candle. So, the support level, 385.10, if that gets taken out. So this would be an area here where you would see the bull stepping in. I would say that you haven't seen the bull stepping in any kind of a large way out here, volume-wise, off of the bottom here. So I don't expect that Morningstar will hold that 385.10 level, but that certainly is going to be the first test here.
All right, folks, sorry about that. Quick little power surge there, and we'll get things back up and running here as quick as we can. So I'm going to go take a look at Edwards Life Sciences. That is actually trading down. Now let me try to pull up that chart here. Looks like the last trade fired off right around, they closed at 82.81. They are, the last trade I see fired off at about $66.53. So let me describe to you what it is that we're looking at while I'm also trying to get my systems here powered back up. Edwards Life Sciences yesterday had a pretty decent volume day here. Now, as I say, the last trade fired off at 66.53. So Edwards Life Sciences had some big volume off of its highs out here on October the 9th. It was down with 8.6 million shares. Big gap down, big volume out there. It had broken out. On April the 26th. When it did that, it had volume to the upside of only 4.3 million shares. So broke out with 4.3 million shares and broke down with 8.8 million shares. Yesterday, if you were listening to us, we were talking about the importance of being able to identify volume off of the highs, off of the top. And that's exactly what it is that we're experiencing in the markets here right now. We've seen that first signal of volume off of the top, and it's always very, very dangerous. This Edwards Life Sciences here, which was a big mover in the IBD. And we'll take a look at this chart. We'll go back even further. But, made its high with about 378,000 shares back on October the 4th. And as we've said, when you see volume coming off of the highs, volume off the top, that's a big markdown. That's a big sign of more downside to come. Well, in this case here, October the 9th moves down with 8.8 million shares. Makes a little bit lower low, makes a little hammer candle on the session of October 22nd, and then moves just a tad higher. Does not close the gap by any stretch of the imagination. Makes it up to 94.98. Well, we're going to see the second big sell-off in this, I imagine, here this morning, with it being down about 19.5%. So now it's trading out at $66.64. So where does $66 take us to? It's going to take us down in towards the bottom of the swing point, really a breakout that goes all the way back into 2010. September 22nd, 2010, This equity broke out with volume of about 6 million shares. Now, the top of that breakout actually has never been tested. I suspect that is where it is headed to, which is going to be in the $60 range. If it's trading at 66 right now, pushing down another $6 should be no problem at all. So that's where it's headed to on the daily chart, and it's really important to be paying attention to volume off of the highs. It is one of the largest signals out there that there is further trouble to come. The only way to overtake that is to have volume to the upside. Right now, we've got, as far as futures are concerned, looks like the futures, you've got the Dow futures up 28, ES Mini trading out at 15.74, NASDAQ futures off about $1.50. We get back from this break here, I should have everything back up and running, and we'll be ready for the open.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing TigerTV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view TigerTV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow up 27 points. S&P up 2, trading at 1581. Composite down 2.5. Russell 2000 up 78 cents. Google up $7. Apple down 7 right now. Microsoft up 18 ticks. Intel up 5. Cisco down 41 cents. Leading the charge. The upside is Google up $7 and change. Buckeye Technology. Let's see, is that an IPO or is that an earnings release? BKI. Oh, they're going to be acquired by Georgia Pacific. They're having a nice 25% premium. That is up $7.60 right now. Rock Tennessee, RKT, little rocket ship this morning. It's up $8 and change, up nearly 9%. They were out with sales $2.3 billion versus $2.28 of a year ago. Their earnings per share, $4.45. That was versus 44 cents a year ago. So that is a little bit of a rocket ship up there. Yum Brands, YUM, they are trading up $4.30. That's up 6%. Out with earnings last night, reaffirming their guidance. Their profit fell 26% on trouble in China, but that was less than was expected out there. You got Lumber Liquidators, also another IBD, used to be an IBD high flyer. I don't know if it is any longer here. We'll go maybe take a look at that stock chart. It's up 7%, trading up $5 right now. Net income $15.8 million versus $8.2 the year earlier. Looks like their revenues here, net sales $230 million versus $188 million out there. Boeing BA up $390. That's up 4% here this morning. Boeing out with revenues as well. What did they do here? Where's my revenue number? I see earnings, operating earnings 1.87 versus 1.77. Where's that revenue number? I don't see it, so we'll just move on to the next one. WellPoint Inc., WLP, up 5%. That's up $3.67 out there. WellPoint is out with their numbers here. Their numbers go like this: revenue 17.5 versus 15.15 billion, and net income 885 versus 856. Edward Life Sciences leading things on the way down, off $17 now. That's off 21% here. Edwards Life Sciences, still the chart I've got up on my screen. That is headed all the way back, as I mentioned. Now we're looking at the weekly chart, all the way back into September 24th, 2010. Didn't take very long for it to get back down there, so that'll be headed towards the low of 53.10 before it releases any information to you out there. Panera Bread, PNRA, that's off $9 here right now. That's off about 5%. Apple down $5. DeVry Inc., DV is a ticker symbol. They're down 19% out here. I don't know. Let's see. Their net income, 56.8 versus 67.1. And Q3 revenue, $508 million versus $540 out there. So they're struggling. Motorola Solutions, MSI is the ticker symbol. Motorola Solutions, their sales, $1.9 billion versus $1.9. So they're flat right there. Earnings, $192 million versus $157, so they've done a good job with the scalpel at cutting costs, but nothing on the upside from a revenue standpoint. Amgen off 5% this morning. AMGN is the ticker symbol. Amgen was out with earnings last night, I believe. They did revenues of 4.2 versus 4.05, so not bad there. Their GAAP earnings per share, $1.88 versus $1.44. Net income also doing well, so it must be the guidance that is hurting Amgen. CRE, C-R-E-E, down 8%, off $4.80, out with earnings as well. They did revenues of $349 million versus $285 from a year ago. They did earnings per share 19 cents versus 8 pennies out there. Oh, here's one taking a big hit. Let's see, Vocus Inc. VOCS is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what they've got going on out here. This is a downgrade alert. I don't even see the numbers. Let's see, what does Vocus Inc. actually do? They provide cloud marketing software that enables, attracts, engages, and retains customers in the United States and Europe. So let's go take a look at Vocus Inc. VOCS is the ticker symbol, and it is trading down 33% here this morning. Let's go, let me get a second here, VOCS. I forgot to type it in. So this thing gapping down. Oh, my goodness, look at the volume on this little guy. Oof. Okay, so that's just a downgrade. There must have been something else going on inside here. How about that? First quarter, so they have announced their results, although I just don't see them out here. So they have announced the results as well. Let's forget looking at the results. We can see the results here on our screen. Down with huge volume. Volume so far this morning, 3.4 million shares here. That's after doing volume up at the highs of 147,000 shares. So this thing is really struggling. We'll go ahead and probably have to put this back on a weekly chart to really see what this is. So here's a high volume low out here, and that's what is now. It's trading below that. So it has had some more gas come out of its tires. It did that on February 29, 2012. Let's go put this thing back on a weekly chart. Let's see if anybody's actually in the money on this equity here. Look at this. I think the answer is no. How about that? So every single person who owns this is in red. Totally in red. 870 is what it's trading at. This thing looks like it had an IPO back in December of 2005. That traded at the low is 925. You're at 865. There, folks, there's an example of a move of a 100% move of a move. It looks like it's going to be maybe a little bit more than a 100% move of a move. So that is a fire sale. Do not be bottom fishing in that. VOCS. That is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at Whirlpool out here. Whirlpool was out with numbers as well. They have been, the stock has been doing very, very well. Their numbers go like this here. They did operating profit, $254 million versus $204. Net sales for their first quarter, $4.2 versus $4.3 from the prior year. So even in Whirlpool's case, things slowing down just a tad. WHR is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at this thing here. So down with volume, 255,000 shares so far. Yesterday made a high with 1.9 million shares. So where should Whirlpool fall to? It's going to fall to the last time you saw any kind of a breakout. That was on October the 23rd, 2012. Let's come off of the June 4th low as well. It wasn't really June 4th in their case. It happened to be June the 26th. But they've had pretty much a straight line move off of the June 26th low out here. That price was $54.08. I actually missed getting in on this trade here by just a few pennies. I was looking to get in at 52. You can even see it. That's the markings on my system here. I was looking for Whirlpool to come back to the breakout here. That breakout was on February 1st. It broke out with 13 million shares. The breakout session as it was coming back, the top of it was 54.69. The bottom was 52.91. It actually got down to 54.08. So talk about a screw up there. Had everything right except for the entry was just a little bit too conservative there. But this thing, after coming back to that breakout, that's what you want to look for, folks. You want to look for stocks that have broken out, and then just simply be patient, be patient, be patient. Make sure you've got those on your lists out there. You can do the exact same thing on breakdowns. So on breakdowns, you're just really reversing the chart. You're waiting for a stock to move all the way back up into the area where it last broke down. And then you've got to identify the spot where you're going to go ahead and take your trade and just make sure that you have a wide enough stop here. And in this case here in Whirlpool, I wish my entry was a little bit higher and my stop was just a little bit wider. Of course, my stop here you can see was 48.80. But let's not talk about that, the one that got away, because we all have those that get away. Now let's talk about where Whirlpool is likely going to pull back to. Well, as you take a look at the run up off of the bottom here, the only time that you see any type of significant volume on here are the days of October 23rd and October the 25th, October 24th out there. 3.9 million and 5.6 million. That is, if you take a look at going from the low of June 26th all the way up to the high put in yesterday, your dead cat bounce takes you to $96.30. Well, guess what? $96.36 takes you right into October 24th. That October 24th, 3.9 million shares, that is where Whirlpool is going to head back to. Now, if Whirlpool can pull back into that area on light volume, what do I mean by light volume? I mean 3.9 million shares would be ideal that you'd pull back in there. It's a dead cat bounce. You see some type of, if you see some type of sign of strength, or you see it coming back into that area on light volume, and you see some type of reversal signal, then you can consider, and also want to make sure that you got the market right, then you can consider taking a trade. Now, could easily move down into the if it's coming down with volume, then it'll come down at least to the bottom of where it broke out, which is going to be really the October 22nd candle, right around 84.69. At 80.17 is the 0.618 retracement. There would be nothing wrong with it other than riding it down from $114 to $80. And so it just depends on the term of your trade out there. But Whirlpool looks like it is beginning to pull back. Volume today, 377,000 shares. And we can identify where it is pulling back to. So right now it doesn't have volume off the highs. That's a good thing, because then you're not looking at a damaged stock out there. Let's take a look at Panera Bread. Well, let's take a look at, let's see here. Going to look at what is moving to the upside. Let's go take a look at that Rock, Tennessee, RKT out here. So let's go see what it is doing, because that's the upside. So we'll go back and forth, take a look at stocks moving higher and stocks moving lower out here. So you can see RKT, Rock, Tennessee, up this morning so far, 463,000 shares. So it's taking out its most recent swing point, which had 635,000 shares. So it's going to do that with volume, no problem. Let's pull this back a little bit further here. Let's actually go back and take a look at a weekly chart. Give me a moment here. Put up a weekly time frame chart so we can get a better perspective on what this is doing. So this is let's go take a look at the weekly A to B equals CD up off of the 2009 lows here. So your A point on this is going to be your March low down at 2284. Your B point on this is going to be the high that was established June 3rd, 2011. Remember, we're looking at a weekly chart out here. That high, 78.64, then goes ahead and pulls back into the lows of October 7th. We know that would be October 4th. So you can see this has completed the one-to-one A to B equals CD. Let's go see if this passed on the weekly chart, if this passed the B point with volume. So that's the red line going across the screen out here. The volume of your B point on the weekly, 7.7 million shares. Doesn't look like it actually crossed the B point with volume, so that could be problematic. That really means when it does pull back, it will likely pull back into that area. Got to be careful because of this high volume bar out here on January 28th, 2011. But right now, you can see the C to D leg is stronger than the A to B leg. You're up over the one-to-one, or at least that's what it's doing here this week. If you can close above $100, it's trading at 101.57. This thing will likely go ahead and run up to 115, 114.74 is the actual 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD. That is on Rock, Tennessee, RKT is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at CRE. Let's go see what CRE is doing. That is trading off this morning. Let's go see what kind of volume we have. CREE is the ticker symbol. Should be, there we go, right down here on my chart. This has a few gaps. So this has created, CRE has created an island reversal candle. So this is important here. If you take a look at, let me just refresh my screen and just make 100% certain that that is the case out here. So we got an island reversal, one of the most bearish candles that you can, well, a island reversal at the top is the most bearish, and island reversal at the bottom is the most bullish candle formation that you can find out here. What does CRE do? April 22nd, 2 trading sessions ago, moves up with 2.8 million shares. Yesterday, gaps up with 4.6 million shares. The high of the session on Monday, 55.78. The low of yesterday's session is 56.20. Got a little gap in there. What does it do today? Gaps down. Volume so far, 1.8 million shares, only 18 minutes of trading. So it looks like you're going to start to get some volume off of the top. Real volume off of the top will be the competing volume that it's going against, which is going to be March 5th. So not too long ago, as this equity broke out, it broke out with 13 million shares out there. You see more than 13 million shares coming off of the top today, and it's a doable thing because you're already at 2 million with 18 minutes of trading here. Then you'll see volume off the top. You'll see an island reversal, and we'll pull this thing back. It's not at all-time high, so that's potentially a decent thing. Now, take a look at how this moved right back into the area where it had broken out. So let me get rid of this A to B equals CD down on here. We're going to take a look at, folks, I'll draw a couple lines across my chart here. I'm going to use the actual day where there was a downdraft with a major volume, 19 million shares. That was January 19th, 2011. The high of that candle is 55.56. So let's put a line across that. 55, we'll go ahead and make that a black line. And then you can see here, so that certainly was a sign of volume off of the highs. Your first sign of volume off of the highs actually, and it wasn't totally off of the highs. The highs were actually established, it looks like, around April in 2010, mid-April 2010. And this thing you had, sorry about that. You had some, how about that? The time absolutely flies around here, especially when your system is up and running. When we get back, we're going to go take a look at CREE, C-R-E-E, because it has created an island reversal candle formation. I wish it didn't have those high volume updates, though. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Pretty flat market out here right now. Dow's off 5 and S&P's up 1. Composite is up 1. Russell's up 75 cents. So flat market. Let's go back to CRE. Now, I was saying that it is thus far formed a island reversal candle. And it will confirm that as long as today it does not trade up to the level of $56.20. That was the low of yesterday's session. Now, here's why in this island reversal, it just says, be cautious. I would not be going short CRE here. You always so you get the island reversal at this stage here, which is a island reversal top, and it's a bearish pattern. But what you've got to do is you've got to come back and say, okay, so where will this thing fall to? Well, we know that it's important to be paying attention to volume, whether it's volume off the top, volume at lows, or what have you. And the volume session on this, as I mentioned, was the last breakout session on March 5th. It had nice volume, 13 million shares. So until you see volume exceeding that coming out of this thing, the bulls have the presumption of the upward hand here. I see a number of divergent patterns, and including today's island reversal, but volume will be key here. Again, it's 13 million shares on March the 5th that it's going against. You've also got nice volume, a nice breakout here on January 23rd with another, 14 million shares out there. So that's CRE Inc. We'll go and take a look at this. We'll pay attention to this. We'll come back and take a look at this tomorrow. There's another island reversal pattern out here. I believe it was in United Health. UNH is the ticker symbol. Yeah, so let's come back and we'll take a look at this one as well. So as we take a look at now, this made one heck of an island. This one formed not a one-day island reversal, but a trading session that went from April the 2nd to April 17th. So it had 5, maybe, 10 trading sessions or so inside there. That's a big island reversal. But it, too, had it's only come back into the breakout area. So this thing broke out, had a bearish type candle on in April the 2nd, but it all depends on how you really stitch these candles together. It's truly a shooting star, but it's a shooting star, folks, if you simply eliminate the mere fact that it was a gap up, and I don't do that when I take a look at candles, and nor should you. You really need to be able to take a look at candles in their context, and that means when you take a look at gaps, fill those in your mind, or even on a chart, just go ahead and color them in out there, because they will give you different meaning, and it's all about truly understanding the meaning of a chart out here. One could say you've got competing patterns because you've got a shooting star and you have a gap up. If you color it in, you'll find out you don't have any competing pattern out there. In fact, if you color it in this case here, and you're seeing that you're coming into a high-volume bar of 22 million shares. Even as it had gapped down, it was only with 14 million shares. So this island reversal here inside United Healthcare is really somewhat suspect, in my opinion, because of that high-volume high out there. That's not what we have inside CRE. Inside CRE, we've got some good support areas, but we did not make a high-volume high out there. Now, what CRE also was doing, this would be some of the bearish undertones here, is all CRE did was come back into the area where it had broken down, which was back on January 19th. January 19th was down with 19 million shares, and all that it did was it got back up there. So if it can't bust it up, and this is really inside this area, it was testing it right around March the 25th. testing it again yesterday. If you can't bust it up, maybe this is going to set up a consolidation pattern here. That has yet to be established, and that is on CREE. Right now, the Dow's off 8, S&P's up 56 cents, Composite down 92. Apple's up $1 here. A lot of pressure on Apple, I suspect, during the day today. Google is up $9. Folks, if you're off to start your Wednesday, have a wonderful Wednesday, and always remember this, folks, you have an amazing power within yourself. That power is so strong it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, even get over power outages. But most of all, folks, it'll create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family, folks. Have a great Wednesday.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.